A lot of people in crystal meth addiction, when they get into recovery, don't tell the truth about what they saw spiritually because they're scared of being called crazy. The Meth Bible changed that. People are starting to talk about the spiritual world.
So we see that the Atlanteans got the Djed, right, to power up their keys, which are these tuning forks. So if you see these on the Egyptian walls and you're like, hey, I'm trying to get like my ancestors, why don't you do the exact same things that they was trying to do, right? Get the Djed, right, or make it yourself. The tuning frequency, sending that electrical current through your nervous system and match that same frequency with the key. You just gonna ignore all the stuff you see on the walls. They're showing you what to do. They're telling you. You just gotta look at it. Once you see, I have the vision, the sight to see. And once you're able to see what they're telling you to do, this is why I was able to create it, man. I said transform. I'm gonna make it happen, bro. I don't make excuses.
Here was Von Braun sitting at a desk when I first met him, explaining to me that he was told he only had 3 to 6 weeks to live, but that he was going to stay alive long enough to teach me what the real game is that's going on. And it started out when I was in the industry, the Russians were the threat. We had to build space-based weapons against the Russians. And then third world countries called nations of concern at that time. And then the asteroid threat, which I thought was kind of comical that we could just put weapons up there to shoot down or steer an asteroid. And then it leads to the last card.
And then he would repeat to me over and over, and the last card, the last card, the last card would be the extraterrestrial threat.
He explained to me that there was a moment when we were going to be told that the extraterrestrial beings, that their craft were a threat, and they were not.
These craft that have come here are now not UFOs, they're identified flying objects, and we know that they have beings in them. And we have witnesses here who have told you that they can shut down our missile silos. They can stop a rocket going into space that's a test. We have witnesses here who have worked in the classified departments who have the courage to come forward here to support what Werner von Braun told me back in 1974 to 77.
At the end, I said, and it's all a lie. Well, it's still all a lie.
The ultimate dream of the dialectical war machine, the military-industrial complex, is to have this war with a potential extraterrestrial civilization. It's their dream of all time.
Why don't you know their history? Why don't they tell you their history? Why don't you know one cave civilization from another cave civilization? Why don't you know the 3 levels of cave society? Why don't you know how cave civilization functions? How can you fight something that you don't know? You don't know them. You know Greeks. Yeah, they were philosophers, Plato, but what are these people you're dealing with? These are cavies. They're writing their books. We came up, they got caves in Nottingham. They're right here. They bring them up. Why don't they teach you about the caves? They know about you. They're in Egypt right now, photographing your ancestors. Chinese, Japanese, I'm telling you. They study you. You have not studied them one time in your life. How does cave civilization function? What are the 3 levels of cave civilization? That's like getting in the ring with Muhammad Ali blindfolded. That's how you gonna win. How? You gotta know how these people function. You see? Everything is a ritual or a ceremony. There's no such thing as a law. It's a ritual. A ritual that you can get punished by, go to jail, or get fined. It's called a law, but it's still a ritual. The law is in what you call them barristers, because they had a bar there. And when you could pass that bar, you are a barrister. Other than that, you just sit with the peasants. So you have barristers here, and you have solicitors here. You follow what I'm saying? Yeah. They are masters of rituals. That's all they do is study rituals. All day. They haven't studied no laws. They just study rituals. If I say this, you should say that. If you don't say this, when I say that, you have broken a ritual. and they get upset. I say hello to you, and you don't say hello back to me? You're broken the ritual. I say, what's wrong with her? What kind of attitude she got? She's broken the ritual. That's all. People die over rituals. Their wars are fought over rituals. There's nothing more powerful than a ritual. Nothing. Facts mean nothing. Rituals mean everything. They've never fought a war in history over a fact. They fight over rituals. So you don't know your ritual. You don't know how your brain functions. You don't know. In order to talk about their history, they got to talk about your history truthfully. So they can never talk about their history. And you would know the truth. You would know they were engaged, right? You know the degrees of how smart you are. You know how they know one leader from another? By the different type of skin they wear. White skin, you don't want that. You want some black skin. That's where you get the plaids from. Those who used to be skins to give you your rank and your order. I'm trying to tell you how these people function. They counted with sticks and bones, which you call Roman numerals. Those were bones that they counted with. They crossed them, made all that stuff because they didn't have a zero. Zero is a concept invented by African people. Changed the world. You could then do numbers vertically, but before then you had to write horizontal. That's Roman numerals. When we introduced the concept of zero, changed the world. Little thing like that. So you got to go back to where they were to understand themselves. You can't look at them from this 21st century brain. You got to go back to where they were to understand.
The moon is not a spherical rock floating in space. It's a focal point of electromagnetic plasma that's being projected into reality. This video was taken by a Russian astronaut. It got scrubbed off the internet because it exposes the heliocentric lie. It doesn't matter how you look at a solid spherical three-dimensional object because you can't make it appear two-dimensional. Therefore, this proves you've been lied to about where you live your entire life.
Do you remember when I shared this message?
This is a hostile takeover. That's what they have said. This is a hostile takeover by the seas people, those mermaids who came from the beginning of time and lived in the water. It must stop penetrating the water with toxicity. If Japan goes forth with the dumping of the waste, it will be seen as an act of aggression in a war. They're going to begin.
And then this happened. And this happened. And this happened. And then this, I think we need to take the water's warning seriously. Japan is preparing to dump more toxic waste into the Pacific Ocean. Make your voice heard. Post about it every day. Write to whoever you can write to. Let us not be silenced. It cannot go on. If we want to stay alive, it cannot go on.
In my personal opinion, fires is one of the largest land grabs in history. The deeper I researched into the fires, you see that companies that have these energy weapons, there's one called Raytheon. I'm not saying that they're involved, they happen to be in these areas, offices in these specific areas. And then you have the land developers, which move in immediately after the disaster. And then you have the insurance companies, which only pay a portion of the value of the home, the people that lost everything, leaving them with only enough money to literally move, not rebuild. And so that clears out the way for developers to come in. And then you have, which I found evidence of, you have these other people, these developers that have already made plans on what they're going to build on these sites before the fires even happened. Wow. How is that possible? And before it's even gotten approved by the city or the state, there's some type of collusion going on, for you, my personal opinion. A much bigger thing going on than people realize, and I think it's probably what we're seeing with these fires, the largest land grab in modern history. A way to, unfortunately, clear out the people without asking them, do you want to sell? How much can we offer you? Just clear them all out with a disaster and then rebuild fresh and make trillions of dollars.
The 808 exists in the lowest chakra of your body. The majority of content that's related to the 808 is killer or sexual content. The original 808s was even off pitch. So that meant it's an actual sound in the track that you don't realize is there that is fucking up your entire frequency. And now, today, every time I hear a car come out, it's 808. But if you think about African music and hip hop and what we was breakdancing to, it was light. The percussion. It was upbeat. It was the drums. Now it's like, and all of this is a bigger, and it's like, man, you know, at this point, it's like they should have killed me when I said George Bush don't care about black people. I ain't got nothing to say. You know, they SNL making my wife say I divorced him on TV because they just wanted to get that bar off, and I ain't never even seen the papers. We not even divorced.
Only person in the world that ain't even a gang member is Suge. He ain't never told on nobody. Everybody told on him, but he's never told on. The DA asked him something to do. That's why he got the 9-year violation. He said, man, I ain't telling you nothing. Then 9 months later, after Orlando gets killed, amazingly, the Compton PD go to his girlfriend's house and get the murder weapon. Brought it back to Vegas and like, Vegas, get that shit out of here. Look at this bull. This that Compton mess again. Gangbanging is real in the city of Compton, California. This is some serious shit. Now, this brother Orlando, he's a Southside Crip. Arch enemies with the mob, Lewis Park, Hollywood, and Limehood. Those are arch enemies. At the time, death row was the biggest thing since Mother's Oatmeal. Suge bought about almost 1,000 tickets for Pyros to come to the fight. You feel what I'm saying? Any Crip, out of their mind if they think they're going to come to Vegas by themselves. I'm telling Keefy D this, out of my mouth to his. He better do a snowfall. He better do a freeway Rick and tell him, because partner, your story don't line up. Now they don't need you anymore. Man, it's time to eliminate him because this is bigger than what people think. It was a move to get rid of Suge. Suge did not play with the rules that white America wanted him to play. And it wasn't white America. This is a Compton thing. Everybody that didn't have the story of what they wanted to be here, Frank Alexander, dead. Michael Moore, dead. Bunch Al, dead. All the members in the car with Orlando, but Keefy D, dead. Vegas blew the investigation. No, they didn't. Gaddafi was one of the outlaws. He described who arm was out, and it wasn't no tall, dark-skinned dude that he described. Man, we don't talk to the police, telling somebody don't talk to the police. And Gaddafi dead too, right?
Because you said that this was all a plot to get Suge out of the way. But once Suge was arrested and he's in prison, why even still drum all of this stuff back up?
Okay, let's look at how Suge got arrested. Orlando never pressed charges on him. Las Vegas Police Department never pressed charges on him. Mm-hmm. So how did LA get this information? Who told him that Suge was there?
But we should know who told on him because it should be in court documents.
It is. It is, but we look all over the top of it. Mm. It's like it's plain as the nose on your face. You don't want to look at your own nose. Mm-hmm. You know? So that
you'll walk past a white person and say, "Excuse me, sir." Walk past a black man and say, "Move, nigga." That's a sickness. Yeah. That's a disease, bro. And it's a disease that you can't get away with just no speech. I can look through a black man and tell if that man want to kill himself. He can be smiling as big as day, and I can tell when he hurting because the eyes is the chamber to the soul. Yeah. If the eyes don't match the smile is not real.
I don't typically eat candy while I'm in Europe, but I bought a pack of Sour Patch Kids for the first time since I've been over here, and y'all, this really goes to show you how truly evil the United States government is. Because they know damn well they don't have to put all of those dyes in the candy the way they do. So I was looking at the Sour Patch Kids individually, and they are not the same color as the one in the United States. So you see, I'm gonna put it in a white bowl just so y'all can see the color. Like, look at this. Now, I want y'all to go get a pack of Sour Patch Kids. Well, you don't have to waste your money, but you can even Google it. Look at the Sour Patch Kids in the U.S. and look at these. These were actually made in Turkey, although I'm not in Turkey right now. Like, just look at the color difference. Look at the red. You can tell there's no red dye number 40. You can tell there's no artificial coloring. I guess this is supposed to be the blue one because it tastes like the blue one. Like, that goes to show you like how evil our FDA is in the United States, because why in the hell are y'all putting all this stuff in our food when you know you don't have to? You have other alternatives. But no, they choose to poison us. Like, and these taste exactly the same. I could see if they tasted any differently. Like, I know y'all want to target kids by making everything vibrant and colorful, but yo, that's truly evil. Like, it's so evil. Look at this shit, man.
This nigga's food.
They're saying that Crip Mac looks like Corey Baxter.
That's Kyle, that's why. Crip Mac is Kyle Maxey. Oh, 50 him straight. 5-5, 5-5, guys. 50 him straight. Okay, that's good.
I'm fucking dead.
What do you think about Crip Mac?
This nigga's food.
They're saying that Crip Mac looks like Corey Baxter.
That's Kyle, that's why. Crip Mac is Kyle Maxey. Oh, 50 him straight. 5-5, guys. 5-5, guys. 50 him straight. Okay, that's good.
I'm fucking dead.
What do you think about Crip Mac?
Everyone with nappy woolly hair is called an Ethiopian. The root word for Ethiopian is ether, and the sun produces ether, called prominence. We are children of the sun. Etherians, called non-ether beings. Our blackness comes from the sun. Within the marrow of our bones you will find sun heat genes called carbon. The more sun heat genes a person has, the blacker that person will be. So black is superior, and the suns of the universe are jet black. The sun is a male, and the earth is a female. Our woolly hair is called granulation because of the potency of the heat, which curls into the number 9. We also carry a sun within our chest called the solar plexus, the soul, which is ether, and if a black person breathes on the back of their hand, they feel a heat which comes from the ethers inside of their mini sun within their chest. So we are the only people who could have existed on the planet Earth when the planet was forming, because the atmosphere was too dense for people without carbon. Our woolly hair proves that a person is superior because your hair is an extension of your nervous system. They are antennas, and the more nappy your hair is, the more stronger you are, because our hair point towards the sun like plants do, and their hair drops towards the ground, and ether is magnetic, which pulls your hair towards the sun to receive electromagnetic waves. You are children of the sun, Etherians. This science is called Nuapu.
If y'all don't know what really happened with Aaron Hernandez, y'all thought Aaron Hernandez killed himself in jail? Y'all thought Chico killed himself in jail?
Jigga TV, kids, it's the one.
Jigga TV.
You already know.
You already know that.
It's your boy CJ, man. Shout out to Jigga TV.
Las Vegas Raiders releasing Chandler Jones after arrest. September 30th, 9:16 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Jones' days as a Las Vegas Raider are over. The team is set to release the defensive end as a result of his arrest, according to reports. 11:16 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, the Raiders just released a statement on the arrest, saying the team is hopeful Chandler Jones receives the care that he needs. He, his family, and all those involved are in our thoughts. The NFL also addressed the Jones news, adding, "We have been closely monitoring the matter and have been in constant communication with the Raiders." Chandler Jones was arrested early Thursday morning in Las Vegas. Jigga TV Sports has learned just hours after the Raiders star broke down in tears on social media. The 33-year-old All-Pro was booked into Clark County Detention Center in Nevada around midnight, where Jones still remains behind bars. The exact details surrounding the arrest are currently unclear, but our sources tell us Chandler violated a protective order, so cops responded and arrested him. Our law enforcement sources tell us the Super Bowl champion was cooperative while being taken into custody. Jones has been away from the Raiders since September 5th after an alleged dispute over access to the team's facility. He has not played in any of their 3 games this season. Chandler's behavior has caused some concern. Earlier this week, Jones claimed he was forced into a mental health hospital against his will and pumped with medicine he didn't want to take. On Thursday, CJ went live on social media and made serious and unfounded allegations about Josh McDaniels and Aaron Hernandez's death, causing Jones to break down crying. Chandler's behavior has worried the football community, but he's been adamant that he's okay and even wants to resume his career with the Raiders.
Imagine if President Obama somehow could body jump. Imagine if President Obama could somehow body jump and jump into my body. Or Aaron Hernandez. Oh, y'all don't know what Josh McDaniels really did to Aaron Hernandez? Wait, they don't know what happened with Aaron Hernandez and Josh McDaniels. All right, y'all talk to me right now, because I'll go on a podcast about that. If y'all don't know what really happened with Aaron Hernandez, y'all thought Aaron Hernandez killed himself in jail? Y'all thought Chico killed himself in jail? Y'all thought my Chico killed himself in jail?
Share your thoughts, comments below, and make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated with all the latest news. I'm Benton Blast with GigaTV.com. Until next time.
Michael Jackson is not dead. Michael Jackson doesn't look anything the way he did. The slim Michael Jackson, because they know that's what y'all like. The Michael Jackson that y'all saw dancing with James Brown, that was a clone. They had to keep fixing on it because the clone was breaking down. He wasn't going into surgeries. See, clones also can't gain weight. So basically what they did, they had to keep doctoring on the clone of Michael who was alive. The one that was dancing with Michael, or the dance with James Brown. Okay, that Michael Jackson, that wasn't the real Michael. When they cloned Michael, that clones don't grow hair. So in other words, however they clone you, whatever you have, that's how you're going to come out. That's just how the clone produced. So in other words, if you're a person that have long hair, however they clone you, that's how the clone gonna look. When they cloned Michael Jackson, his hair was never attached, because the first Michael Jackson that was cloned, his head was in a third to fourth degree burn in Pepsi commercial. He lost half his head. I mean, it wasn't gone, but it was it was very badly burned. Michael Jackson looked like a monster. Okay, and he was still slim. So they cloned him while he was under the knife. And when they cloned him, they needed 2 years to remake him, because he didn't look nothing like Michael Jackson. I don't know if y'all can peep game. So when they cloned him, they had to make him lighter and make up this skin disease, because his skin didn't look the same. His body, they changed everything about him. In the end, when Michael was looking really, really bad, the clone body was breaking down, because clones don't think like humans. Clones have to have people around them to tell them what they do, because they get adolescence. They can't think properly. It's called handlers. Right? So when Michael started to break down, his body was breaking down. His nose was artificial. I don't know if y'all noticed. Go back and Google Michael Jackson nose. It looks like a robot, because it wasn't him. His whole head was a wig. It was a cap, because when they first cloned Michael, he didn't have any hair. It all burnt off in the Pepsi commercial. They put Michael in a capsule and cloned it. Brought him back 2 years as the clone, and Michael Jackson was watching all of this like, I can't believe they're doing this. So what happened to Michael? He just lived his life. Michael Jackson is still alive. He's already appeared on TV, but y'all didn't even know who he was. Go back and watch the CNN of Larry King, the guy with the glasses, with the real bad burnt victim that played like Michael Jackson saved him when he was a kid. That's Michael Jackson. It burned him so bad it disfigured him. It tore up his skin. It did everything to him. You understand what I'm telling you? And also, after Michael was cloned, the real Michael Jackson, they bleached his skin so he would look nothing like Michael. If you look at the dude who was on Larry King telling you about his childhood, how Michael Jackson helped him, he looks just like Michael. Just look in his eyes. That's Michael Jackson. He's disfigured. That's how he looked when he got done with the Pepsi commercial.
Joining us now here in Los Angeles, Miko Brando, who was with us almost every night after this untimely passing, longtime Michael Jackson friend attending the funeral, and Dave, yes, that's his name, Dave. He was David Rothenberg. He was set on fire in 1983, suffered, as you can see, terrible scars. Michael Jackson befriended him and paid for a lot of his surgeries. Dave is also attending the burial. Why Dave?
Well, to liberate myself from the confines of my father's criminality.
He caused the fire?
Yeah. He is a criminal, and he caused all this. To free myself of his name and his legacy, I decided to become my own person through changing my name.
How did he find out about you, Dave?
He heard about me, and he had contacted me and wanted to meet me.
How old were you at the time?
I was about 7 years old at the time.
And were you in the hospital?
I was not in the hospital at the time. I was in interim back and forth from surgery.
And what did he do for you?
Well, basically, he befriended me. He took me into his life, which is very rare for Michael to do. But he opened up his arms to me and accepted me as a very good friend of his. And throughout the years, he never let me go.
Were you surprised, Dave, to hear from him when you were 7?
Oh, it's a very interesting story, Larry. It was kind of, the visit to his Encino house was very impromptu, and it was kept a secret by my mother. And I had always been kind of a admirer of his, not a fan per se, but I always loved his music. And my mother surprised me one day and brought me up to Neverland. And I entered an arcade, and there were all these Paul McCartney records all over this, The Girl Is Mine, and, you know, this and that. And I remember sitting down, and at the time, my favorite video games, my favorite video game was Pole Position. And I was playing Pole Position, and I felt a little tap on my shoulder, and I turned around, and there was Michael. And you know what, Larry?
What?
At that moment, we embraced, and that embrace never ended throughout our whole entire friendship.
Dave, what don't we know about him we should know?
Well, I believe what people fail to realize is that Michael was a human being. Throughout the years, I think he was kind of stigmatized by the media, and I believe that wasn't really helpful to him or to anybody around him. I believe that Michael was a great person. He has never hurt a soul, and I am happy to have been his friend for all these years and been a dedicated friend.
Listen, the bus, the kids, they're gone.
What do you mean they're
gone?
gone?
I was just driving down the street. I look up, and they're gone. It was just vanished. I couldn't believe it.
Okay,
no
cut
accident.
the bull, and this will go a lot easier. What did you do with them?
There's no accident here, okay? Look around the bus.
Right,
There's nothing.
Slow down.
Okay.
Slow down.
Okay.
I know you didn't get in an accident, you just told me that.
Okay.
The kids are gone.
They're gone. I don't know where they went.
How many kids total?
45, 50.
Okay, do me a favor. Stand right there. Stand right there. Do it now, please.
Look at it.
Stand right there.
There's nothing wrong with the
Do not
bus.
move.
They just went.
I'm going to take a look. Hello? Hello, police? Anyone on the bus? Hello? Is anyone on the bus? Hello? Is anyone on the bus? Can anyone hear me? If you're on the bus, please pop up. Stick your head out. Say hello. Raise your hand. Hello? We're coming to the back of the bus.
You guys, oh my god, watch this.
This is a family compound. It's when you buy your own plot of land and build a small neighborhood of homes for you, your parents, your brothers, your kids, and your grandkids to help each other out. And my company helps you make this a reality. Let me explain. It's the 1950s, and up to this point, family compounds were the standard throughout human history. But once World War II ended, veterans started using government loans to buy into suburban developments that split the family compound apart. This shift from compound family living to nuclear family living resulted in a weakened family unit. Increases in depression, isolation, divorces, fatherlessness, abortions, all of these things stem from the shift away from compound living, the way of life God intended. So that's why we're making family compounds great again. At Axie Centralized Real Estate, we offer done-for-you 10-acre off-grid homesteads, with each homestead coming with everything you need to move your family off the grid once and for all without giving up modern amenities. This includes 10 or more acres of land, custom homes, off-grid utilities, farming infrastructure, and most importantly, the option to have as many homes as you want to form your own family compound.
A house can be built without brick by brick. How did they do it? This is a technology developed by the American company Binishels to blow bubbles to build a house. When working, first build the foundation according to the drawings. Then blow up the air pump bag like a bubbly. A basic house model is now available. Then pull the steel mesh along the surface of the air pump bag to fix the shape. After everything is ready, workers can then pour concrete with handheld spray guns. A house like this can be painted in just one day. After the concrete solidifies, a rough house was built. The internal air pump bag can also be reused after deflation. Compared with traditional construction methods, this technology can reduce construction hours by approximately 66%. The cost of a house built in this way is only $3,000 to $500. Not only that, its dome-like structure can evenly transfer the resistance pressure to the foundation along the entire perimeter of the building, thus making the house stronger. Can withstand natural disasters such as wind, snow, earthquakes, etc. And its non-flammability also eliminates fire hazards. In fact, many buildings used similar methods to build houses as early as ancient times. Not only saves time and effort, the unique shape looks particularly beautiful. It is also one of the most environmentally friendly buildings to date. Many tourist attractions and resorts have similar buildings. So, do you agree with this concept of building a house?
This is why all black people be like, I can get red. Red is one of the only color tones that go against cool skin, warm skin, and neutral skin tones. See, I have warm skin. So whenever I get red tattoos, the red in my tattoos is always going to heal out because my undertone of my skin is red. You don't tattoo ink that's in the same family of your skin tone. Makeup artists, they'll tell you, if you have to contour your face, you have to put a complementary color contrast against that, which when you go back to this color wheel, the complementary color is always gonna be across from it. Yellow darker would be like purple. To make red darker would be like green. So things with like green and like blue, everything that's in that family, that brushes up good against my skin. But see, since my undertone is red and I'm neutral, putting a red in my skin is gonna try to heal it my exact same skin tone.